Roger Ward spins on the backstretch. The way clear, Boyd and Vukovic move right along, but Al Keller spins into them from the inside. Vuki is thrown over the rail, flipping helplessly. From a point directly opposite the bridge, the incident looked like this. Boyd's car, number 39, is thrown on its back and skids to a stop.
It's like coming up behind a semi at 90 miles an hour and just being pulled right into the back of it. Oh!
Oh, an enormous crash. Oh, my God. A terrible crash. Yellow comes out again. We're going to hold on identifying this car because there are two cars like it in the field. We want to assure ourselves they now report it is Greg Moore.
And one thing he was worried about going into this race was all that dirty air created by 34 cars.
But right now, the position he's in, he actually has a small advantage because everybody else is opening the air up in front of him. And even, oh, here we go.
Trouble, contact, and a huge crash. Up in turn number 2. Oh, multiple cars involved. Oh, my. It looks like Dan Weldon may be involved in it.
The dizzy 500-mile whirl is on again with 33 of the nation's fastest drivers out there to break the record against time. Suddenly there's a skid and Floyd Roberts smashes into Bob Swanson's car, setting it ablaze. Chet Miller crashes through the infield fence and turns turtle. A triple crack-up. Miller is pinned beneath his car. Swanson is thrown clear and Roberts, mortally hurt, has driven his last race.
Ted Horn is well up ahead with 2 laps to go, heading into the dusty, tricky number 3 backstretch, while Billy DeMore tries to close the gap. George Robson, Indianapolis 500-mile champ, burning the speedway, crashes into DeMore's stalled racer, obscured by dust. 4 cars smash into the ill-fated turn, where Robson is run over and killed. The nearly 40,000 spectators swarm onto the track to where the piled-up wreckage strews the course. In addition to Robson, George Barringer, veteran San Antonio racer, was so badly hurt, he died shortly after being carried from the field. 2 other drivers were seriously injured. DeMore's car hits the marsh, and others are so much jumped. A tragic ending for 2 daring sportsmen.
is in a battle for Rookie of the Year with Alex Zanardi. Oh, my! That is Stefan Johansson. Stefan Johansson involved in that.
Scott Pruitt. It looks like it's Scott Pruitt.
No, it's Andre Ribeiro. That's Ribeiro there. That's Stefan Johansson. That is at the end of Lakeshore Boulevard. Oh, my. This will bring out a full course yellow.
Full course for sure.
With just a couple of laps to go now, you have to wonder. And the driver is still in the car. As they try to, they'll have to stop this race almost totally.
That needs to be a red flag. There's too many parts there for the cars to get through. They should come out with a red right now.
The ambulance is on the scene, and we'll see it one more time. Bobby, take us through it.
They're still trying to get Krosnoff out of the car. Now here you come. Right there, there's Krosnoff's car up into the wire right there, almost through the wire. Thank God the wire was there and the cable. You can see there's not much of a race car left. The car has just shed everything. It's come completely apart. The wire obviously helped take it apart. That's Johansson right there in the 16 car. He came out of it pretty good. Right to the right there where you see all the workmen, that's where Krosnoff still is. They're still trying to get him out of the car. Remember, these cars fit very tight. When they're damaged, it's often hard to get the driver out.
A young sports car driver named Dave McDonald, in a radically designed car, lost control coming off the northwest turn and slammed into the inside wall. An hour later, the announcement was made at the track. Driver Eddie Sachs was killed instantly. Dave McDonald would die later that afternoon.
A rookie from Uruguay, preparing to make just his second start for Team Penske as today's Shell 300 for the Kart Champ cars. Killed while practicing at Laguna Seca yesterday morning. Rodriguez was running in a tough corkscrew section of the Laguna Road course when his number 3 Marlboro Lola left the road, apparently with a stuck throttle, flipped over the wall, landed upside down. Dr. Steve Olvey attended him.
It is with deep regret that I must announce that driver Gonzalo Rodriguez was fatally injured.
At Indianapolis, disaster struck on the third turn of the very first lap when Ed Elysian skidded while trying to grab the lead. He touched off a 12-car jam-up in which driver Pat O'Connor was killed and several others injured. When we cut down to slow motion, you can see O'Connor's car flipping over in horrible detail. He didn't have a chance. Jerry Unser's car jumped the wall, but he escaped with only a dislocated shoulder. The chain reaction collision on Memorial Day was the worst in the long history of the Indianapolis 500-mile race.
I am Brent Musburger. We were all prepared to bring you a celebration of the IndyCar Series, the start of a new season. But as you are all well aware, there are inherent life and death risks in this sport, making it the most demanding test of man and machine in the world. And here earlier this morning, tragedy struck. It was just 3 minutes into their final session when Ed Carpenter spun out in turn 2. He bounced off the wall and slid down. Spotters immediately warned other drivers of the danger. Several made it past. But rookie Paul Dana, the Ray Hall Letterman team, slammed into Carpenter's car at 176 miles an hour. The two drivers were quickly airlifted to Jackson Memorial Hospital in nearby Miami. The announcement we all dreaded came at 12:45 p.m. It was made by Brian Barnard.
Both drivers were removed from their cars and flown to Jackson Memorial Hospital, where shortly before noon, Paul Dana was pronounced dead from the injuries he suffered in the accident.
But his triumph turned to tragedy just 7 months later at the Beverly Hills Speedway Classic. Fans were stunned when Gaston's Monroe Racer, designed by his brother Louis, was caught in a spectacular fiery crash. Both Chevrolet and his mechanic Lyle Joels were killed.
Gordon Smiley going turn 3 at this point. Suddenly the car veers right to the left and slams into that wall, probably at more than 200 miles an hour. Gordon Smiley died instantly in this accident, a horrific accident. Again, you see the car beginning to slide at this point. He corrects the slide and the car goes in exactly the way that the front wheels are pointing and slams almost head-on into the wall. The compression of the car at that speed, it's almost like an aircraft accident, almost that of a ballistic missile with fuel, oil, and the car totally destructing itself. Modern racing car is a deformable structure, but man was never designed to live through an accident such as this.
12 laps, a steady run without incident, and then disaster in lap 13. Only the slow-motion camera can show what really happened. As the car crashed the rails and turned over, Mays, who refused to wear a safety belt, was hurled onto the track. Beneath the wheels of other speeding cars, a dauntless driver met his end.
Today, the man who owned the pole position for last year's and this year's Indy 500 blew a tire and slammed into a wall at about 230 miles an hour and later died of his injuries.
Look for smoke or look for sparks.
In the replay, it appears that Brayton blows his right rear tire going into turn 2 at a speed of 235 miles per hour. The rear of the car bottoms out, and Brayton loses control. This was Team Menard's 5th car they were hoping to qualify this weekend for the race. The brunt of the impact came on the left side of the car, providing very little cushion in the collision. Brayton was knocked unconscious and was rushed to nearby Methodist Hospital by ambulance, where he was later pronounced dead.
himself. In the wall goes Justin Wilson. Let's see if this tells us any more about Justin Wilson. You're going to be looking on the high side. You're going to be looking on the left of Sage Karam's car. As Karam starts coming down the track, look on the high side. As he comes down the track, Wilson will be going high. He hasn't yet entered the picture. Wait for Wilson to come through. There's Pagenaud on the low side.
The nose section there bouncing, bouncing, and right there on the head. And that is, if that is the nose of the car, that is a very, very heavy, thick object. You see it flying through the air. It's nearly 100 yards in the air, and I would guarantee that knocked him unconscious, and he's just a passenger now.
Position number 1 to start. Teammate Gordon Johncock also qualifies, but veteran Art Pollard's car veers into a wall and disintegrates. Pollard is killed, widely loved and respected in the racing community. His loss will later be regarded as an omen.
Unfortunately, the thrills and excitement of Indianapolis type car racing this weekend were marred by the death of the 1982 Indy 500 Rookie of the Year, Jim Hickman. Hickman had been bumped from the starting lineup, but with less than 5 minutes to go in a final practice session, his car slammed into the first turn wall. The impact carried it to the exit of turn number 2. He was pinned in the wreckage for several minutes, was removed to a local hospital in very critical condition. Hickman's wife was flown to his bedside and was with him when he died about 4:30 this morning.
Jovi Marcello, a Filipino rookie, was killed Friday. Marcello was beginning a qualifying run when he spun going into turn 1. Damage to his car, relatively minor compared to other crashes, but Marcello was apparently struck in the head and the chest. He was unconscious and pronounced dead after being rushed to Methodist Hospital in Indianapolis. Unable to be revived by emergency workers trackside, Marcello was 27.
Look on as death stalks the speedway. Trying to avert a collision, Shorty Cantlin swerves sharply and his car goes out of control. Look out! Emergency squad rushes Cantlin to a waiting ambulance, but he's already run his last race.